Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got a few things in the news today, some good news for Royal Caribbean and Celebrity cruisers. We have a very difficult situation happening with one of the Norwegian cruise line ships. And then we also have some cruise lines who have pulled sailings. We're not stopping there anymore in Bermuda, and I'll explain why. First off, a little bit of troubling news that we every once in a while have to cover. The NCL Breakaway pulled into Boston and was met by police and FBI agents as there was an alleged assault on board during the sailing. Investigators are basically not telling us a whole lot other than they were called in. There is a current investigation underway. They're checking security cameras. They're interviewing the suspect. They're interviewing the alleged victim. They are going through their investigation. Apparently, it's between two crew members, so no passengers were involved in this particular situation. I'll keep you up to date with anything going on. It just goes to show you that, you know, even on a cruise ship, even if you're working there or you're sailing, crime can happen or things can happen. We don't know the whole situation. Like I said, this is just under investigation, but not just the police, the FBI were also on hand. Also, we have in the news, we have some good news for Royal Caribbean fans out there. If you are one of those people who are saying, hey, why is internet so bad on cruise ships lately? And especially lately, I'm hearing multiple complaints on the brand new NCL Prima internet. Horrible. I was on the brand new Celebrity Beyond in the Mediterranean. Horrible. I was on Princess's Royal Princess cruise ship. Horrible internet. Worst I've ever had, by the way. Worst I've ever had. And it's not just one cruise line anymore. It's a lot of cruise lines reporting from passengers saying that the internet is really bad. Well, Royal Caribbean is being true to their word about Starlink, and it is now being seen by passengers on multiple, not just one here and starting here, and then we're going to go to another one. Multiple Royal Caribbean cruise ships have now been seen working and installing the satellites on board their ships, which is really good news for anyone about to sail on Royal Caribbean anytime soon. I'm sailing in less than 2 weeks. I would really love it if Starlink was up, but I don't think that's fast enough. According to some people who asked the workers on board and were curious about what they were doing, they said things could possibly be up and running in the next 2 to 3 weeks on some of these ships, which, fingers crossed, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because that's a really good news for those people who really do need internet and Wi-Fi on cruise ships. Like I said, a lot of people work nowadays and need to be in touch with the office and need to be in touch with coworkers or whatever the need may be, right? You just might need to be able to be reached. Now in Bermuda, we have some cruise lines out there saying that they are canceling some stops going to Bermuda this fall. And it's kind of telling. So let's talk about that. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything cruising, from new ships to the internet that's going on in new ships, the changes that are going on, the brand new ships being launched. I'm going back on the Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas later on this year, because if you remember, I was on her earlier for the inaugural sailing and everything wasn't ready. The shows weren't ready. The Aqua Show wasn't ready. The escape room wasn't ready. Well, now apparently it's back up and running, so I'm going to go and show you how the Wonder of the Seas actually looks when everything's running properly. So if you want to keep up to date with all those things, just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost a thing. It really does help the channel out. It tells YouTube, share it to more people because people like cruising videos. And that's really all it does. And again, I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody about to subscribe, and especially those who already have. Okay, Bermuda. Bermuda right now, if you remember, if you're hearing all these protocols changing where you don't have to test for cruises under 9 days or under 15 days and all this stuff, you don't have to do a test if you're vaccinated. Well, Bermuda, along with Canada, are one of the sticklers. They're one of the ones out there that still have that severe protocols, the more restrictive protocols for a lot of their stops. Well, that's now affecting some cruise lines. Norwegian Cruise Line and Celebrity Cruise Line have both announced that they are canceling 5 ports of call in October and November, and 3 others are possibly going to be canceled as well. So far, it's 4 from Celebrity and 1 from Norwegian Cruise Line. Now, these cruise lines in particular are falling inside the purview of the testing because they're longer cruises and they're transatlantic cruises. I'm heading on a transatlantic cruise in October, and we still have to test because it's a transatlantic cruise. If it wasn't a transatlantic cruise, we would not need to do a test before the cruise. I'm hoping maybe that'll change by then. Fingers crossed. But as of right now, we still have to change. And that's a test. But we have to test when we get there for the cruise. We don't have to test when we get back to the United States. However, for cruises stopping in Bermuda, who are doing transatlantics, they do have to have another test, which means the cruise lines have to have enough tests on board for every cruise passenger. Also, a lot of people test positive for COVID who have no idea they have COVID. They have no symptoms, they have no fevers, they have no nothing. And that was my case when I caught COVID in Amsterdam. I had no symptoms whatsoever. I was caught because I had to take a test at that time to fly home. But because of those restrictions, and it's a transatlantic cruise, Norwegian Cruise Line and Celebrity Cruise Line have decided, we're not going to stop in Bermuda. So those itineraries are changing. Now we'll see what happens going forward if this changes the mind of the officials in Bermuda. Because if they start canceling those cruises, who else might cancel cruises? Is it possible now Princess, Holland America might start canceling cruises? Is it possible other ships might stop canceling those transatlantic cruises that stop in Bermuda, going in both directions, by the way? So if they're canceled now, they would probably get canceled in the spring as well when those ships return to their previous destinations. It's a lot to think about, but again, restrictions are still up in some places, and we have to be aware of them for our cruise ship. My next 4 cruises all have different protocols. So, it's still a thing, and just double check every single time you're going on a cruise and keep up to date with it, and I'll try and keep you up to date with it as best I can, but it's still changing all the time. I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.